let's make lemonade. Okay. Let's go to work.
That's the signal. Go. Six. It's beautiful. Mother Nature just pissed her pants, dude!
Start your day with a jolt of energy and no-holds-barred opinions. This is The Rush, where Travis Justice and Ross Peterson bring you bold, unfiltered, and uncensored takes on sports, life, and everything in between. Buckle up, and let's go.
Everybody, welcome to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. It is a Wednesday. It's the 28th of May. If you're listening on the audio stream at therushradio.com or on the Rush Radio app on the Android devices, thank you so much for tuning in this morning. Hello, YouTubers. Good to have you watching us this morning. Go ahead and give this channel a subscription, give the video a like, start leaving your comments in the comments section. People already having their own show on the comment section. And follow us on X, Facebook, and Instagram. And if you follow us on X, I did a little retweet this morning. And our listeners amaze us. And Mick has been a listener for a long, long time. Many of you will know Mick as Jeep Stud. And Mick is he's one that right when the show started said, hey, can I have your logo? Because I want to go make a flag. He travels all over the country, does these Jeep expeditions and competitions, and he flies the Rush flag. You're like, this is so cool. He's a brand ambassador, Ross.
Literally flies the flag for us out there in the world. And yeah, we love Mick, man. He's been awesome. Become a friend of ours. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Mick got his license plates for his. Yeah,
you just stole the thunder because I didn't mention that yet. No, but that was a big buildup. It wasn't Flubber. Flubber, I think, is the green Jeep, but he's got like 3 or 4 different Jeeps.
Hold on, he told us which one it was. It said it on there. It said it on the post. I thought. Geez, come on, I can't get to it now. Get the TJ.
The TJ. He names his Jeeps. He names his vehicles. And now you'll see that riding down the road, if it is an on-road vehicle. I don't know if he uses it just exclusively for off-road or if it's an on-road vehicle. But his license plates say just The Rush. And you're like, man, that is so cool. So cool.
Dude, that thing looks like a daily driver. It's in great shape. Man. Okay, I love the Jeeps. You know that. I love the Jeeps. I love the Jeep Wranglers. And I love my Jeep Grand Cherokee. I love Jeeps. I'm a Jeep guy. Dude. Can we stop with the rubber duckies?
The rubber duckies?
I'm so glad you don't know about this.
Okay, yeah. Good.
And I'm going to ruin your day.
All I hear is, rubber ducky, you're the one. That's from Sesame Street.
So I'm going to piss off a lot of people here, and nobody. I'll have 0 people on my side because most people are smart enough just to not care. So I don't know what it is, dude. I don't know the game. I don't know how you play the game or how you unplay the game. But I started noticing maybe a year or so ago, you'd be driving down the road and a Jeep Wrangler would have little rubber duckies along the windshield, on the inside of the Jeep, along the windshield facing out. I'm so glad you have this response to this, because I think what's happened here is I love Jeeps, and so I'm aware of Jeeps, and so I'm looking, when I see a Jeep, I'm looking at the Jeep. Then I notice these rubber duckies. I'm like, well, that's weird. Wonder why that person has rubber duckies on the front of their Jeep. And then I saw another one.
Okay, can I ask a question before you go any further? Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Are they like stick-on rubber duckies, or are they like real rubber duckies
that
you see them put in the river?
Real rubber ducky. They're not big. They're not big. They're a little bit bigger than they're maybe the size of a silver dollar or bigger.
Okay.
They sit about an inch off the ground, maybe an inch and a half off the ground. And then you'll see another Jeep, and they're lined up. There's like 9. And then they continued to grow. And now I see Jeeps that the entire front windshield is lined with these little rubber duckies. This is one of those red car things. Now that I've pointed it out, you're gonna see this.
You're gonna ruin my day, aren't you? I'm gonna be driving to work today. There goes a Jeep Wrangler, and I'm gonna see what's the rubber ducky. Okay,
some of the people
meaning behind it?
I don't know. Somebody said duck Jeep is the joke. So somebody wrote that in there, but I'm not alone. See, like Jay says, 0 ducks in my Jeep, but this is Jay. Do you know what I'm talking about? And somebody out there, again, we got the phone numbers. Somebody give us a call. Let us know. What are we missing here? Travis has never seen it. Am I crazy?
No, because there are some people here who are saying, enough of the rubber duckies, and Jeep owners saying, hey, listen, no rubber duckies on my Jeep. But 515-517-2303, because all I hear, Ross, is that's like a signal for swingers, because
it's a swingers club. McFly says it's called ducking, and it's for spreading kindness.
Well, how does a rubber duck sitting on the dashboard of your Jeep spread kindness? Because now you're just pissing Ross off, and you're not spreading kindness. Ross is looking at you like you're a freaking moron, and he wished that your Jeep would blow up like his did on the interstate, because you're ruining the Jeep putting a rubber ducky on your dashboard. It's not spreading kindness. It's spreading hate. It's spreading hate.
This is kind of like those signs on the road that are supposed to keep people safer, but they just make people crash.
Yes.
Jeep ducking, also known as duck Jeep, is a tradition, my favorite word, with the Jeep community where owners leave rubber ducks on other Jeep vehicles as a random act of kindness. The ducks are small, cheerful gesture, often accompanied by a note, aiming to spread joy and recognition among fellow Jeep enthusiasts.
So what I hear is it's an exclusive club. If you don't own a Jeep, you're not good enough for a rubber ducky. If you want to spread kindness, you have to be part of our group. You have to be part of a Jeep group. Only the special people get a rubber ducky. That's not spreading kindness. That's segregation.
It's just Wranglers too, as Tyler points out. Because I've got a Jeep. I have a Jeep, and it's even black.
So what you're saying is there are, you can have a Jeep Compass, you can have a Jeep, you can have it. No, hear me out, but you're not in the elite status store. And I'm wondering if they've narrowed it down to, not only does it have to be a Jeep Wrangler, but it's got to be a Jeep Wrangler 2-door with a soft top just to be able to get it.
I don't think so, because what I thought you were going to say is it's got to be, because most of the Jeeps I see them in are new.
Do they even make a 2-door Jeep anymore? Every Jeep I see is a 4-door Jeep.
No. And it took me a while on the 4-door Jeeps. When I first saw those, I was like, that's not a Jeep. No, that's a Jeep.
No, it's not a Jeep, is the Jeep Wrangler body with the bed in it. The pickup truck Jeep. That's not a Jeep. That's not a Jeep. That's a pickup truck. When you say Jeep, though, you automatically, or at least my brain automatically goes to a Wrangler. You say the word Jeep, and
me too.
Wrangler.
Me too. Even as a guy that drives a Grand Cherokee.
Yeah.
I think we go with your idea, and Joe is kind of running with it here too. Okay. I'm just going to go with this from now on. It's a swingers club.
Exactly.
Joe says it's a Jeep thing you wouldn't understand, in quotes. And then he says, all I hear is it's a Jeep swingers club. From now on, when I see the rubber duckies, that's what I'm gonna look at the person. I'm gonna give them the wink. I'm gonna give them the wink and the aloha thing, Yeah,
and then
hang loose.
What you need to do is keep on your seat when you see it is just like a plastic pineapple and hold it up. There's the Jeep Wave,
right?
I have no idea. I've never.
The Jeep Wave is a very real thing. Oh, you think that the rubber ducky is an insiders club, an exclusive club? Jeep owners have been waving at each other the whole time, and we didn't even know it. You didn't even know. No, and only Wrangler owners.
Is it a one-finger farmer wave?
Yeah, it's kind of like the one-finger farmer wave. If the door's open, it's kind of like a biker throw it off the side. That's a very real thing. The Jeep wave has been around for forever.
You know, I was close to buying a Jeep about 6 months ago because I found one. It was perfect. It was a 5-speed manual, and it was in great shape, no rust on it. But what you're doing right now, Ross, you are literally talking me out of ever buying a Jeep. I had no idea about this exclusive community that existed. I just looked at it and went, oh, that's a really cool car.
And again, but it's a fun community to be in. Like it's the mix of the world. It's the 25-year-old Rosses of the world. Yeah, I was a fun guy. I was a fun guy to be around. So it's a fun community. It's very much a what's the island? Kenny Chesney. You know, Mick goes to Kenny Chesney concerts.
Mick goes to everybody's concert.
That's a good point. Mick likes fun, right? And that's what I think that's what Jeep owners are trying to convey, or that's what the club is. Like, hey, I'm a fun guy. You a fun guy? Let's be a fun guy.
Let's go down another rabbit hole here. Okay.
Yeah.
And that is, you have the Jeep people. What other make or model of cars has that exclusivity to it, to where I know there's Corvette guys are big. When I owned a Mazda Miata, Ross, I was actually surprised. There were like Miata groups. And I was like, okay, it's just it's a Mazda that looks like a sports car, but it's still a Mazda. It's just a Mazda Miata, and it was a convertible. I didn't think there was anything special about it. But, you know, we just finished the Porsche dealership out in West Des Moines. I know Porsche drivers are, you know, they're
kind of a club.
They're kind of a club, but
I know one. There's literally British car clubs. So, like, if you own a
Bentley, is a Bentley?
No. I'm talking about like the Triumph Spitfire. Do you know what I'm talking about? The little tiny car that like Austin Powers drove around in.
Okay, yeah.
Mini Coopers, old Mini Coopers. There are British car clubs where if you own an old British car, and I'm really bad with cars, but I know that because my buddy Dan Adams, who I used to do radio with, ran the Central Iowa British Car Club. That's the thing.
We need to get Jason Willis on and just talk to him about the freakiness of people in their cars and how, and we were talking about brand loyalty yesterday and how a car can build brand loyalty. I know some people who won't drive a Chevy pickup. They got to have the Ford F-150 and vice versa. I've got to have
rather push a Ford than drive a Chevy.
Yeah. Yes.
But Jason hit it. MG was one of the car brands of the British Car Club. And I don't know this to be true, but it seems like people know. Dusty said Subaru drivers are in a club, but he said they join the club, then get the car. I don't know what that means.
I think it's a sexual lifestyle. I don't mean to stereotype here, and don't take this the wrong way, but it's kind of known in the lesbian group, right?
Oh, that's what he means. Ken says there are Mustang clubs everywhere.
I haven't seen a good-looking Mustang in years.
All right,
I'm not a Mustang guy.
An update from inside the swinger community.
Okay.
Dude from Iowa just spent some time down at the Villages down in Florida. Remember, he spent eight dates down there.
Yes.
Lots of dates. He says the latest rumor at the Villages is that if you are on the inside, if you're in the in crowd, you flip your shirt tag up.
Okay, that would drive me nuts because it would be like rubbing against my skin in a wrong way.
Who comes up with this stuff? What how do you come up with this, and then how do you get it out into the world? Like, how does this stuff start? How does somebody like, all right, I'm gonna leave the house today, honey, you and I are going to leave the house today because it's a couple's lifestyle. And when we leave the house, we're going to make sure that we're project into the world this thing that other people are going to know means that we're swingers.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you how this stuff comes up. And the fact is, they want to brag online and to their friends that they're swingers and they have an open relationship. But now that the signs of a pineapple, flamingos, white rock are becoming common to everybody who are judgmental, they have to find a new way to drop a signal. Because if you
know
walk
what we need to
around-
work on? You know what we need to work on? People being judgmental. That's the right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. We make fun of the swingers. Listen, if you want to swing, that's your deal.
Yeah.
I'm going to judge you for it probably, but I'm not going to hate you for it. I'll be like, I don't know how that's sustainable. I don't.
Jay just dropped the mother load. This is the of all cliche clicky groups. It's not the Jeeps. It's not the Jeeps with their waves and their rubber duckies and their excursions. That's not it. For decades, the undefeated champion is Harley-Davidson owners.
Oh, yes.
For decades. The undefeated, they have a uniform. Then they have gangs within their little gang.
So would the Jeep be the 4-wheel version of the Harley-Davidson?
Man, it's a totally different vibe, though, isn't it? You roll up to a bar. Let's say you're out on a road trip. Okay, you're driving with the family.
Okay,
coming into a small little town, right? See a couple of bars that you got a chance to get lunch at. One's got 150 motorcycles at it. The other one doesn't. Which bar are you going to?
The bar without it, because I know there's less people in there.
And other reasons. Let's say that the other bar has 150 Jeeps at it. Which bar are you going to?
So you have,
because one's playing Jimmy Buffett and the other one's playing Pantera.
Now you're stereotyping Harley drivers. There's plenty of lawyers and doctors that drive the Harleys.
But what do they do? What do they do when they wear? What do they do when before they get on the Harley? What do? They go
Take on
Dusty.
an alter ego.
They go Dusty's route. They join the club and then they get on. They join the club. They put on their uniform. Check out my orange leather. My bike, when I start my bike, it goes.
Yeah, it's overly loud, by the way. Overly loud.
Don't you like it when it goes? Look, when I turn it, it goes. The Harley drivers are the first and the champion of this group that we're talking about.
I've never belonged to a club like this because I've never had the money to do so.
No, it's not that.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not that. It's not that, because a lot of these people don't have the money to buy these. You don't have the money. No, it's not that. You're kind of an antisocial, you're a little bit of a contrarian. You know what I mean?
You're talking about me personally.
Yeah. I'm talking about you personally. Yeah. I think that these are the reasons that you're not a part of. You don't join the team. The closest you've ever been was when you were a biker and you wore the Grandview biking outfit, but you wore that to a strip club, which is, you kind of change the rules. You know what I mean? When you do something like that, you're first of all, you're kicked out of the biking club. You're your own man. That's what it is.
By the way, I was never part of a biking club because you back to that antisocial contrarian thing. Yeah. I only biked with Pat. It wasn't like I got together with a bunch of 9 guys to go on a Saturday ride.
But the point is, you put on the uniform, and then you went to a strip club. So that's why I say that you did the thing where you changed the rules. You made your own path. It's impressive.
515-517-2303. Coach Hersom, welcome to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. You know, you call a lot, Coach, but Mick has raised the bar with privatized license plates. What are you going to do to represent the Rush? I mean, how are you going to help us, Coach?
That's a good question. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I do have personalized license plates, but I'm riding the brand. They're basically monogram for the company I work for. So
okay.
and is what it is. I listen to you across 9 states. Does that help?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. 100%.
I mean, I've already driven 156 miles today. So, but anyway, you're talking about Harley guys in Sturgis. So I got a story, and it's sports related. So my buddy's dad goes out to Sturgis every year, right? And about 15, 20 years ago, they get a campsite, and they're next to a couple or whatever, and they kind of go back and forth, talk a little bit. The guy comes over, introduces himself. Hey, I'm Tommy. It's like, cool, and 15 years or 20 years, they've been getting the same campsite, and they camp next to each other. And one year, my buddy decided to send a couple of baseballs with his dad to have Tommy sign them. Tommy is Tom Berenger of Major League.
His bad knees. He had bad knees. Wow.
Bad knees, exactly. And we wish we had Jake Taylor a couple years ago or 5 years ago. We did. So
wow.
But no, it's just that Harley group is a group like Ross nailed it. I mean, that's the group, if you will, of vehicle people. So.
Cliche, clicky.
Okay. And Coach, thanks for the phone call. Drive
Thanks,
safe, by the way. 156 miles in. That means you've been on the road since like 3:00 this morning. So thanks for the phone call and drive safe.
Wow.
In a way, okay, and I don't want to freak people out. We've always said, when we first started doing the show together, I said, I want to build a community. This is what I want. I want a community of listeners to where, everybody feels like they know everybody. Is this show, and we watch the chat, is this kind of like a
click?
A click? Is this a club? Everybody come into it.
It's like a club, but that's the exception, I think, Travis. There's no entry, right? The club is open. There's no buy the Jeep, wear the Harley clothes, put on the clicky clacky shoes. Do you want to have fun?
Yeah. Do you want to have fun with this?
Like to laugh and talk about stupid stuff? Because that's what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess we're part of a club.
Yeah. Brian says it's a club.
Yeah. I like
it.
Yeah.
I would agree. This isn't the smoke the weed club. Like,
it's not?
No. I don't smoke weed. You do. Or do you? 515-517-23.
I do have to say, if I ever met Tom Berenger, I would have to I'd have to thank him. Because I did steal a move from Jake Taylor, one of my favorites. Remember when he steps and do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good move.
Who's this? All it says on the call screener is Central City Liquors.
It's Musketeer.
Oh, what's up, Moose?
The Musketeer Club. See, Texas calling in Central City Liquor. So here's my story. So I work for an insurance company, and yesterday I was doing file audits, basically making sure that the stuff is underwritten right. And I see this address, and I went, no. Pull up Google Earth. Right there it is. Central City Liquors, next door to my wrist that I'm looking at. And
okay.
I let out a big old belly laugh.
That's awesome.
No, it's not Central City Liquors. I did not insure Central City Liquors, but it's like, no way. Of all the things in Des Moines, Iowa, that's the thing that's right next to one of my insureds.
See, that's awesome. That means the next time you get back here, you go to Central City Liquors, and by the time you get back here, you purchase a bottle of the single barrel Rush Radio Show bourbon from Knob Creek.
I am actually coming back 2 weeks from today. Actually, I'll be there. I'll be in Des Moines 2 weeks from tomorrow because as Coach Hermson would point out, where he used to be a coach at, is my 40th high school class reunion in Eagle Grove.
Oh, wow. Well, congratulations on 40 years.
I'm coming back. I know. Don't even remind me. That just seems unnatural. But yeah, I'm looking forward to coming back, seeing my sister, my nephew, I'm giving him my pink golf clubs. He's a freshman golfer at Waukee Northwest. He doesn't have good irons. But I'm like, you know what? I don't play anymore. Might as well give him my ping irons.
Oh, it'll
make him better.
Nice. All right. Well, travel safe. Thanks for the update. Always good to hear from you, Moose.
And spend some time at Central City Liquors.
Yeah, and go to Central City Liquors, by the way.
Yeah, you will love it. I promise you.
I will walk in there and say, I'm part of the Ross show. I'm a regular caller.
Great. Thanks, Moose.
Ask for Dana. Dana, take care of you.
Oh, she'll be there.
Yeah, Dana, take care of you. Wow.
Morning, noon, or night. 7 a.m. to close. You spend 5 minutes inside of Central City Liquors. Just go in and be quiet. Just go in. Just go in and listen.
In New Orleans, bars are open 24/7, right?
Real? I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Matter of fact, we went to one that did not even have locks on the door because it's just open 24/7. If Central City Liquors could be open 24/7, they could do it.
Yeah, I think that's a bad idea. But
no, I don't disagree with you. I'm not disagreeing with that, but I'm just saying they would have business 24/7 if they were open 24/7.
That cowbell would ring 24 hours a day.
Yes, it would. 100%. Because we started talking about Mick and got us down this rabbit hole that we did not even plan, we got to give Mick something. And so from today until June 6th, we're going to be giving away a pair of tickets to the Iowa Craft Beer Festival. And I think it's only right, Ross, that our first winner today is Mick, Jeep Stud himself.
I love it.
Gets to go to the Iowa Craft Beer Festival on the Rush Radio Show. And he's our first winner. So what you need to do is tomorrow, Friday, and then all next week, we're going to be giving away tickets to the Iowa Craft Beer Festival. So there'll be different ways to win. And if you have something socially, if you want to get our attention, the best way to do it would be on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram. It doesn't have to be branded material. It doesn't have to, but just something to get our attention, and you might be a winner. But Mick, you're going to the Iowa Craft Beer Festival, which is coming up on June 7th down at Waterworks.
A couple things to tie up a few loose ends here. My buddy Johnny Mick wrote in about the ducks during the pandemic, during the Jeep ducks. He said it was started by some girl in Oregon during the pandemic.
Go figure.
I think that's what it was. Now, Brian Duax is listening this morning, and he wrote in 2 words: bad idea. Nothing good happens after midnight. That's an important lesson.
Brian, down in New Orleans, I can go to a liquor store 24/7. I'm just saying. And I'm not saying it would be a good idea at your current location to be open 24/7.
Dude, when I remember even closing time in Des Moines, you know what I mean? 1:45. And the lights come on at the bar. That's a feeling. That's depression hitting in a weird spot right there. Think 4 a.m. 4 a.m. in a bar. No, dude. Think of the bartender. Think of the lifestyle that person has had. And
it's not a happy life. It's not. It's not. It was one of the greatest bars I've ever been in, though, because we went in the afternoon, and also we started looking around, and I'm like, then we walked out. I'm like, there's no locks on this door. And I go, how come this? They're like, oh, we're open 24/7. I'm like, I go 365. I'm like, okay. All that means is there's a lot of depressed alcoholics who need a place to go. 515-517-2303. Good to have you along on a Wednesday morning. We'll talk some NBA. Ross sat and watched an NBA game last night on the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Spring is here, and so are spring pests. Whether it's birds in your dryer vent, raccoons in your chimney, squirrels in your soffit, ants in your kitchen, or bats in your attic, with over 20 years of experience, Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions can help. Call us today at 515-218-3400 to schedule your inspection and see how Bats and Bugs can help prevent your home from becoming their home.
the Royal Mile, where everyone's a wee bit British. The Royal Mile is downtown Des Moines' living room with classic pub favourites. Pair them with a glass of whiskey or an expertly poured Guinness. It's bloody brilliant. The Royal Mile, a proper British pub.
Fong's Pizza has moved to 317 East Court in the East Village and is ready for good weather with an expanded menu and a patio that is ready for pals, pints, and pizza. Fall in love all over again with the new Fong's in the East Village.
Thinking about buying a home? Get pre-approved in 30 minutes with Gary Presnell at Northwest Bank in Des Moines. Gary offers first-time home buyers programs, VA, FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
You know, Brian, at Central City, we really do have the best selection around.
I know. High-quality stuff you can't find anywhere else.
Whistle Pig Plantation Rum.
Yeah, and over 150 of the best scotches on earth.
And a ton of bitters, mixers, and more.
You know what we are? High class.
Definitely high class, yeah. Make way for the natty.
Okay, maybe medium class.
Central City Liquor is home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the Wooden Nickel program.
I'm Corey Warren, and I'm an automotive technician here. I've worked here for right over 3 years. I was working for an independent shop. I'd say the environment, it's laid back and easy to get along with everybody. I've got a lot of old cars that me and my brothers and dad work on, so I do a lot of that stuff. There's actually stuff to do. I grew up in a small town, so there's not that far from being able to do stuff.
There's a new spin on casual dining near Drake University. Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers. Craveable faves, flatbreads, delicious burgers, frozen cocktails, and a crazy cool vibe. Get to Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers today.
The best bread is made from scratch, freshly baked with locally sourced ingredients and love. At Big Sky Bakery, we take great pride in our delicious products. We know you'll enjoy them almost as much as we enjoy baking them. Find us at the downtown Des Moines Farmers Market every Saturday.
Back like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
All right, you heard me talking about the Iowa Craft Beer Festival. It's coming up on June 7th at the Lauritsen Amphitheater at Waterworks Park. 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock, you can enjoy unlimited samples over 70 Iowa breweries, cideries, and meaderies, offering a diverse selection of craft beverages. VIP ticket holders gain early access at 12 o'clock for exclusive specialty brews. You're going to have food trucks, live music, experience the fun, and silent disco. The silent disco is the thing that everybody loves now. You got to be 21 or older. VIP tickets are $65. General admission $50. That price increase as after June 1st, but you can win your tickets right here on the Rush Radio Show.
The silent disco is it blows away your expectations because you see it, and everybody's first instinct is, the hell is that? What are those people doing? They have different colored headphones on, lit up. They're dancing. Nobody can hear any music, and they're dancing to their own beat, literally sometimes. And then you go over and you give them your ID and you put those headphones on, and it's a blast.
First time I ever did it, I was at Bacon Fest up in where did they have it up? Was that in Urbandale or no? It was in Clive, right? Remember that little event center up there in Clive?
Oh yeah,
like 3 years ago. First time I ever did a silent disco, and I kind of made fun of it. And I'm kind of like you.
You do. When you first see it, you're like, that's so stupid. That's so dumb. And then somebody's like, hey, we should try the silent disco. And you're like, okay. 5 minutes. 30 seconds in, you're like, that's kind of cool.
And then when you explain the different colored headphones mean a different genre of music, And then you can just tap it and go back and forth, which is really cool.
So at Bacon Fest, they had 3 different DJs.
Oh.
And so you could listen to one of the 3 DJs. And then as you're walking with your group, it's a good time. Silent Disco's a lot more fun than, I think everybody goes through that process. You see it and you're like, what the hell? That's stupid. I'd never be caught dead with that. And half hour later, you're like, yeah.
I've joined the crowd. I'll take a stem, please. Give me a stem. This will make it even better. Make it better.
Look, I bought a Jeep and put a ducky in the window. Look at me having fun.
Speaking of tickets, today is the last day, final day, cutoff. If you have not registered to win the sweet tickets from Choice Creative and Choice Creative Community Credit Union, now is the time to do it. Go to therushradio.com. and go to the promotions tab, fill out that little fillable form right there. You could be sitting with Ross and myself in the Choice Creative Suite. Yes, sweet tickets. We're talking food. We're talking beer. We're talking access to a restroom. The way you want to watch Shane Gillis. Today's it. We're cutting it off. We'll announce the winner tomorrow, I believe.
We are so old, but it's so true. Man, access to a clean bathroom is, that's such a perk.
Well, you brought it up this morning. You like, everybody's old now. You don't even see young people around anymore. Maybe it's just the company we keep.
That's part of it. But it just is, seems like everywhere I go anymore, you look around and you're just like, where the children's? We're all old. We're going to need some people to carry some weight around here in a little bit.
You know you're getting old when I bought this house 22, 23 years ago, and it was a neighborhood of just kids running all over around the place. There's no kids anymore.
No kids.
We're all walking with limps. We got a cane, please? Got a cane? So you watched the NBA game last night, the Indiana Pacers against the New York Knicks, a game the Pacers won 130-121. Tyrese Halliburton was a beast, an absolute beast last night.
It was funny because I didn't even realize he was having that sort of game. They were kind of talking about it, but I didn't realize he had done the 0 turnovers part of it
he's the first player in NBA history to do that, to have 30 points, so many assists, and 0 turnovers.
A 30-point triple-double with no turnovers in the playoffs. And I think they said, they threw a stat out right at the end, Trav, about I think he was the first player to have a 30-point triple-double in the playoffs since Oscar Robertson.
Really?
I think that's what they threw something out there where Oscar Robertson was the only other player that ever done it.
Yeah, if you're going to compare to the Big O, man, that's a pretty darn good comparison.
And watching that last night reminded me of him at Ames. It reminded me of watching Tyrese Halliburton in college, like an incredible point guard who more than anything was conscious of that ball security thing. And then it was really interesting in the post-game interview. The question was odd, but I'm glad she asked it. She said, you're the first player in NBA history to have a 30-point triple-double with no turnovers in the playoffs. Who would be most proud of you? Now, in my cynical brain, having watched the game and knowing that they were going to show Halliburton's dad a bajillion times, and then, of course, game's over and they show him in the suite waving his banner, and I think that's what they were hoping, you know? What was it like to have your dad? It's been years since his imprisonment, and he's finally able to watch you in person. Oh, wait, it was 9 games ago that he got kicked out of for legitimately kicked out of a place. Never mind. How does that feel? Who would be most proud of you was her question. Expecting him to look up and go, Dad, right? And he goes, I think he'd be my AAU coach. He says, my AAU coach was a guy that always told me about ball security, always told me to take care of the ball. And I bet if he's watching tonight, he's really proud of me. I was like, that. Bang!
Kind of that non-traditional answer. It would have been funny if he went Steve Prohm. Steve Prohm would be really, really proud of me right now. Cyclo Nation, Steve Prohm, hope you're watching. That would have been funny.
I mean, listen, he's in the line, right?
Yeah.
He's in the line of guys that if Tyrese Halliburton were to sit there long enough and go, you know who else? You know who else? You know who else? Because, I mean, honestly, the reporter could have done that, the drive-through window thing to him. Oh, you didn't say your dad. Who else is proud of you? Steve Prohm. Okay. Who else?
Low-hanging fruit is the parents. But
that's what
he's
you're
actually
trying to get
right
at.
here. Because guys that coach you and tell you, hey, you think about this. And the fact that stuck with his brain through college and probably through his professional career to go, you know what? It was my AAU coach. Because mom and dad that's easy. Mom and dad are always the most proud of you. You can mess up royally and mom and dad are still going to be proud of you. But I mean, he had 32 points, 15 assists, and 12 rebounds. It just wasn't a triple-double.
That was the other thing he threw in at the end. He goes, you know what? He'd also be proud of me because I rebounded tonight, and I never rebound. But you did miss the not just the Tyrese Halliburton show, but you did miss the Halliburton show because, man, they didn't miss many opportunities to mention that our long national nightmare is over. His dad finally, after years of being withheld, restricted from watching his own son play a game that he loves to play, Mr. Halliburton was finally back in the building last night, everybody. We should celebrate it. Reggie Miller didn't let it go. I think that's who it was, right? Wasn't it Reggie on the broadcast? You would know. I watched it. I don't know. I think it was Reggie.
So the Pacers are up 3-1, going back to New York. It's not over yet, by the way. Don't assume this thing is over. The Knicks can turn it on quickly, but their back is against the wall big time. And Tyrese Halliburton, I was thinking about this. If I were to say in the NBA right now, who's the must-watch player in person? Because we know who it is in the WNBA. And it was Michael for the longest time in the NBA. Then it was LeBron and Kobe. Is Tyrese Halliburton slowly turning into?
He's
I'm just asking the question.
Absolutely. Is he in that conversation? Yeah. I mean, that was one of the first names that popped into my head. Just talking about the teams that are remaining here, I think it's Anthony Edwards and Tyrese Halliburton. And after last night, it's Halliburton 1 and Anthony Edwards 2.
Because he's a showman too.
Oh.
Right? He's got a little showmanship to him.
Trav, did you ever watch the show Family Matters?
Family Matters.
Had Urkel.
Yeah.
Real nerdy kid.
Yeah.
Jaleel White played him. He was Stephen Urkel. And I was such a nerdy kid in middle school. My dad and my brother called me Urkel. For like 10 years, I was Urkel in the house.
I can see that. There's a resemblance there. I see it. Skinny, poorly wore jeans. Yeah, I see it. Oh, what? What are you looking? Don't look at me like that. Don't give me that look of disgust.
It still hurts, is the thing. Anyway. Urkel, at one point,
you are the only person I know
keep going
who's been compared to multiple TV characters because you have Urkel, and then you have, is it Oliver? Was that his name?
Are we talking about Lucas?
Or Lucas? Yeah, Lucas. Very rarely can a human being be compared to two.
The guys at work say that I look like a praying mantis. So I got that going for me too.
Oh my God, I see it now. I do. You say it and I'm like, I see it. I really, really see it.
So anyway, back to my point on Urkel. He at one point takes this like magic juice that makes him, it turns him from Stephen Urkel into Stefan Urkel. And he's super suave and super cool and super all right. But so you learned about this alter ego that Stephen Urkel had. Well, when Steven Urkel plays basketball, it turns out he's also super duper good at basketball. Somebody took clips of the Urkel highlights of him playing basketball and put them side by side with Halliburton, and it's hilarious. It's incredible how much Halliburton resembles. If you just type in Halliburton Urkel, it'll pop up. It's like a 20-minute highlight video of good highlights of Halliburton. I mean, it's really good stuff. But it's side by side with a TV show from the 90s of Steven Urkel dicing up dudes. It's pretty good.
So, man, now I want to see this. Have you seen what they've been doing with the NBA 2K videos after these games? I sent you one on Instagram, and I don't know if you ever go to your Instagram page or not.
Very rarely. I'll go there right now.
But they have been taking these NBA 2K video games, and after the game, they'll put together like WWE highlights of players body slamming the opposing teams. It's actually quite hilarious. The Knicks did it the other day after they beat the Pacers. That's because the Pacers did one, or it wasn't the Pacers, but somebody mashed it up together. And I didn't even know. I don't play enough video games, but I didn't know you could do that on the video game. Like have
I
other
don't
players
know how that.
players.
Yeah. That's got to be CGI AI type of thing, because you can't. There was one game that was called Arch Rivals, and it was a basketball game where you fought. You could, like, there was a punch button. There was pass, shoot, and punch, and you could run down the court. And if the dude was dribbling the ball at you, you could just run at him.
So you could just go full Rudy Tomjanovich on him, man.
Rudy Tomjanovich.
And for those younger people not knowing what I'm talking about, all you have to do is Google Rudy Tomjanovich punch, and you'll see one of the greatest punches landed in sports history.
Yeah, that's it. Arch Rivals was that game. That was fun. Somebody says I have to sit here and take it. Lady Sideburns thinks that after my years of fat jokes, I just have to sit here and take it that you make fun of me now. I feel like my fat jokes helped.
You might be right. You might be right.
And Travis's skinny jokes are helping, because I'm turning into a real boy.
Our heads are almost proportionally the same now, which is nice. Anjanette was so cruel the other day. We were out with some people, and there was a picture of me in the hospital when I had, I think I had my hernia surgery, because my umbilical.
I remember when you had the hernia.
My umbilical hernia she comes out. She's like looking at me like I'm getting the stink eye from my wife right now. But I was so fat, and I'm like, who is that guy?
It is wild to see you now and then those photos, because it's one of those things where, Trav, even I see those photos and I go, I don't remember you being that big. I really don't.
Yeah. So. Yeah. But you know how you lose the weight or keep it? You know how I keep it off?
Discipline?
No, discipline, and with Core Power from Atlantic Coca-Cola bottle.
I like look at that transition.
Because it gives me the protein I need during the day to give me fuel, to give me a little bit of energy, to fill me up. It comes in just delicious bottles of 42 grams of protein, or you can go with the 26 grams of protein. But this is how me and my wife is to me. So she's on like this Amazon delivery, monthly delivery, right? Big thing comes yesterday. It's a case of Core Power.
Yeah.
I go, oh, thank you, sweetheart. She goes, no, this is for me and Greta. I said, what do you mean? I said, we're a family. She goes, yeah, do you remember when you brought all the Core Power home and you wouldn't let us drink it? Now, since you wouldn't let us drink it, we've bought our own Core Power and you don't get any. I said, that's not fair. Mine was product placement.
I'm trying to pay the bills around here.
Just trying to pay the bills around here, sweetheart. That's all I'm trying to do. Now you're taking all the core power. Should have ordered 2 cases, one for me, one for you. That's how mean they are.
That's turnabout is fair play. But what you should have said, Trav, you got it. Is she listening right now? She can't hear me, right?
She can't hear you. She can hear me.
All right. Dude, you got to turn that golden rule thing around on her. You got to say, hey, I understand that I treated you that way. And I understand that that hurt you. Why would you intentionally do that to me now? I thought we were treating each other the way we wanted to be treated, not the way that we treat each other, because then it's just eye for an eye the whole time.
Boom.
Spin that baby right around.
So you want me to play mind games with my wife? Is what you're encouraging?
I'm just suggesting you try to win. Just giving you the tools. Just giving my friend the tools in his toolbox.
The tools to succeed.
Yeah.
Might not be a bad idea. Might not be a bad idea. I don't know if it'll work. Yesterday, we got my nephew's graduation coming up in Muscatine this weekend, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to go, because we were going to go over Saturday, drive to Muscatine, and me drive back to Des Moines. I'm just like, maybe I just stay here as we're getting ready for Greta's graduation party. She goes, well, what work are you going to do around here? I said, oh, nothing, but it would just be easier for me to drive to Des Moines and back than to Muscatine, Des Moines, and then back. That's a long day.
Yeah.
But it was, what work are you going to do around here to help us get ready for the party? And I'm like, oh, nothing. I'm not going to do anything, because I won't do it to your satisfaction.
In fact, there you go. I'm going to do you a favor and not do anything. Because if I do stuff, it's just going to piss you off. So what am I going to do that's going to make you happy? I'm going to do nothing. I'm intentionally going to not do anything. That way I don't screw it up. Just for you, honey. Some people want to know why you used Amazon instead of Atlantic. Atlantic Coca-Cola Bottling Company does not distribute to Nebraska.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they do most of Iowa, parts of Minnesota, parts of Illinois,
Wisconsin,
parts of Missouri and Wisconsin.
Yeah.
But they don't go. I don't think
they do even like Council Bluffs, if I'm not
do you remember the
mistaken.
story? Do you remember how that happened? Because the guy that initially had the license to bottle and distribute Coca-Cola out of Atlantic had that entire area, but then when he passed away, he gave it to 2 of his sons. He gave the eastern half of it to one son and the western half of it to another son. The son on the western half of the Missouri basically said after a couple decades, hey, I'm going to sell this thing. So that's how it ended up in split like that.
If hindsight's 2020, they'd probably take it back, right? I mean, you'd be like,
yeah,
I'm going to hold on to that, have state domination. But the core power is how I maintain now, and I love the core power.
It's so good. The strawberry, the vanilla, the chocolate.
Vanilla. I think the vanilla might be my favorite.
See, the chocolate's my favorite, but I'm usually that way with everything. Chocolate's usually my favorite flavor.
Are you a Hershey's bar guy then? Do you like
Hershey's with almonds? I can do 1 or 2 of those a year. It's kind of like a Big Mac. I can have 1 or 2, but it's not my favorite.
You bring up the Big Mac. I got a question, and I don't know if this is going on in Central Iowa or not, but around me, what's closing up? All the Burger Kings are closing.
There's a couple in Des Moines still.
Yeah, but it's like closed. I'm like, what's going on with Burger King?
I feel like they're more of an international brand now.
Might be. I was always a Whopper guy. If you gave me a Whopper or a Big Mac, I'm taking a Whopper almost every single time.
See, man, we got Bebops.
That's true, and they're flame broiled too.
Yeah. So Bebops is the best fast food burger, and it's locally owned and operated. Culver's.
I'm not a smash burger guy. I'm not. There's something about the smash burgers I really don't care for. I know there's a big fad right now. You can do them on your Blackstone grill, and they sell the smasher. I like a thick, juicy burger. I like it thick. I like it red. Don't look at me like that.
I like them big, thick, and juicy. Find that juicy double.
Oh, boy. Mixes, all the Ames area Burger Kings have closed, too.
Oh, and again, I know they're not like prevalent, but that there's a new one out in Pleasant Hill. There's their handful, but they're not as prominent as they used to be, man. It used to be McDonald's and Burger King. When was the last time you were inside of McDonald's, by the way?
Oh, it's been years.
Oh,
well,
dude.
I can tell you when it was. It was December of 2023. I was or March of 2024, and I was in Florence, Italy. And it was it was like 2:00 in the morning. We were starving.
Dude, remember you used to go into McDonald's when you were a kid, and it would be bright, colorful. There'd be a play place. There was a Ronald McDonald statue. Everything was yellow and orange, and it was like a carnival. Dude, now you go into one, it feels like you're walking into a doctor's office. It's like everything's gray, everything's square.
You order from a tablet.
You don't see a person, and if you do, you wish you hadn't. They're just like, they don't even make eye contact with people because they're like, we've been told this it's only going to go bad if we interact with people, so we just don't even. You're standing there waiting for somebody or something. It's like, what has happened?
Taking the people out of it.
Because we have so many people that look at life that way. They go, oh, you know what the problem here is? People. You know what the worst part of going out is? People. 515-517-2303 if you want to jump into the conversation with us. We're here till 8 o'clock. We got an hour in the books. We got an hour to go. It is the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
Spring is here, and so are spring pests. Whether it's birds in your dryer vent, raccoons in your chimney, squirrels in your soffit, ants in your kitchen, or bats in your attic, with over 20 years of experience, Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions can help. Call us today at 515-218-3400 to schedule your inspection and see how Bats and Bugs can help prevent your home from becoming their home.
Hey everybody, this is Mason Miller, sales manager out here at Willis Infinity. We got some great stuff going on this month. Right now, you can get up to $4,000 off on a new QX80 and enjoy 2.9% for 60 months. On top of that, this month, you can enjoy 1.9% out to 60 months, an additional $1,000 off of a new QX60. For more information, stop at our showroom or visit us online at willisinfinity.com.
Largest selection of German beer in the world? You'll find it at the Hessen House. From Doppelbocks to Oktoberfest to Hefeweizens and Dunkels, there's no passport needed for the deliciously different beer and food at the Hessen House. So grab your friends and make it a fun night out. The Hessen House, 4th and Court, Des Moines.
You know, Brian, at Central City, we really do have the best selection around.
I know, high quality stuff you can't find anywhere else.
Whistle Pig Plantation Rum.
Yeah, and over 150 of the best scotches on earth.
And a ton of bitters, mixers, and more.
You know what we are? High class.
Definitely high class, yeah. Make way for the natty.
Okay, maybe medium class.
Central City Liquors, home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the Wooden Nickel program.
Back like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
It is the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. Hour number 2 of the Rush Radio Show. If you're listening on the audio stream at therushladio.com, or if you have an Android device and you've downloaded the app, We appreciate the support. We appreciate you listening this morning. If you're watching on YouTube, give this channel a subscription, give the video a like, start leaving your comments in the comment section. And you can also follow us on X at Rush Mornings, like our Facebook page, The Rush with Travis and Ross, and follow us on Instagram, The Rush Radio Show. Oh, where'd that go? Where'd that go? Losing stuff. Ross, I got something to show you. Give me 1 second, by the way. And by the way, tomorrow, don't forget the Principal Charity Classic is getting ready to get started at is it Wakanda, right?
Yep.
And Kirk Triplett is going to join us tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Kirk is a 6-time PGA Seniors or Champions Tour winner. He's a 3-time PGA Tour winner, and he golfs tomorrow. But before he golfs, he's gonna hang out with us, which is really, really cool.
He's playing in the Pro-Am this morning.
Yeah.
He's from Arizona, but when I reached out to him, I was like, you're an early riser? He's like, absolutely, no problem at all. So yeah, it'll be fun.
Okay, I'm going to show you something. Okay. And that's not it. I'm going to show you this. That's me in the hospital. Now, if you're listening on the audio stream, you can't see this, but I'm showing a picture of me in the hospital and how fat I was. Now look at me now.
Happy for you, man.
Wow, I was big. I was pushing 255 there. Thought you'd appreciate that.
You look good, buddy.
That's why you made all those fat jokes back then. Just saying. The Caitlin Clark effect is real, by the way. Real. And did you hear what's happened now to the ticket prices?
Oh, I can't even imagine. I mean, really can't imagine.
Ticket prices have dropped for the games that she's going to miss 71%.
That number seems low to me. I'm dead serious. You could have said they've dropped 90. And I'd have said, yeah.
Now, we're talking about the cheapest tickets. And I kind of feel sorry for Washington and Chicago. They have moved their games before the season even started to larger arenas.
I shouldn't laugh. It's not.
You shouldn't laugh.
I should, but all of your eggs are in one basket. I can't believe it's a conversation that we have to have. I can't believe that Angel Reese has had this much of an impact that we have to have a conversation about. Well, is it, Caitlin Clark, how much of it is Caitlin Clark? All of it. Well, there's other players too. That's not what the conversation was. Why is the needle moving here for the WNBA? Caitlin Clark. One name. That's it. One name. You can throw the other stuff. You can throw the other stuff at it. She's not even the best player in the league. There's all these other talented women. There's all these other beautiful women. You're right. All of that's true. All of that's true. Go ahead. Move your games to arenas. All of your eggs are in one basket, and Caitlin Clark holds that basket. And to deny it is silly. To have the conversation about if it's even happening when it's glaringly obvious. Having this conversation about is Caitlin Clark really the reason that we watch WNBA?
Yes.
This was like watching Joe Biden struggle through a speech, and then they'd go, do you think he's having cognitive issues? Are we watching the same shit? That's why I laugh. Oh man, I feel sorry for these teams that really don't have any marketability. They've got nobody that you can name on any of those rosters. You can't name a player that's going to be in those games. Man, isn't it sad that they aren't going to sell out that arena, that they never had a shot of selling out if it weren't for this one person that they're all riding the coattails of? That they're lucky enough that she's in their league and taking this thing to a stratosphere they never dreamed of? You want the proof of how much this is? When you said 7, I think that number's low.
It might be, because that was immediately after, and who knows what happened. So for the Washington game, the cheapest ticket prior to Caitlin Clark getting hurt, the cheapest ticket to get in to see the Washington Mystics play the Indiana Fever was $41. That was the cheapest ticket. That has dropped to $14. So $41 to $14.
I'm not being rude. I wouldn't pay $28 for me and Audrey to go watch that game if Caitlin Clark's not playing.
I'm with you. The Chicago Sky, which has Angel Reese, which became the fastest player in WNBA history last night to get to 500 points and 500 rebounds, that has dropped from $86, cheapest ticket, $86 to $25. And something tells me these ticket prices are only going to continue to drop.
Yes.
And they've both moved to like 20,000 seat arenas, hoping for a sellout.
Which, and again, I don't want to laugh because I don't blame them. They're trying to make the money while the sun is shining, right? Make the hay, man. Make the hay. You got Caitlin Clark coming to town. You can sell out a giant arena. Go do it. You book the giant arena. Caitlin Clark doesn't come to town. Nobody shows up. All your eggs are in one basket.
And there's probably people who have purchased really expensive tickets who go, I don't want to go now.
Dude, that's why the 70% number is for the cheapest tickets. Take tickets that were maybe $1,000 to sit courtside.
And we were talking about this with Tyrese Halliburton earlier. Is he one of those marketable players that you're like, I just got to pay money to watch him? He's probably not there yet. He's getting there.
Getting there, right. He's in that, yeah.
This is a broken record. We've talked about this several times. I think it was Colin Cowherd, because it's not my original idea, but Colin Cowherd compared WNBA fans to soccer fans, like who don't want to give credit where credit's due. It's like, well, we know more than you do. We've been following the game since its inception. You don't understand the quality here. I'm not saying there's not quality players in the WNBA. There are, but there's just lightning in a bottle when it comes to somebody who just has a marketability. And we've talked about it before. Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Caitlin Clark in our lifetime are those players.
There's something magic. There's an X factor. Travis, the one thing I would push back on Cowherd about with that comment is specifically calling out soccer fan. This happens with every sport. It happens with bands.
Any bands.
And I would say any band. We've all been around.
I've been going to Fish concerts forever.
There you go.
I don't know if I've ever heard a Fish song.
Yeah. You dirt track racing. You show up at racing and you ask a few questions and people are like, this guy. Show up at a wrestling event and you're like, I don't understand what's happening here. Where you been? I'm here now.
Help me come back.
Help me understand it. So it's not just soccer fans that do that. The
Give
WNBA
me a rubber ducky.
Yeah, right. There you go. I'm here to be part of the clique, but you're not part of the clique. You weren't here. You weren't here when I got here. People do that with all things. But Cowherd's right. The WNBA is suffering from that a little bit. And Travis, you're right too. Like, I hate to say it, everybody's right, but it's true. The people that are saying
things can be true at the same time.
Yeah. The people that are saying, hey, there's really talented women in this league. She's not even the best one. Wait till you look around. Yeah, you're right. She's not the best one. She's really good. She's really, really, really good. She will be the best one. She might not even be the best one right now. Why are all the eyeballs on that one?
It's magic.
It's magic, dude. It's an X factor. And I'm glad we don't have these. The race is the easiest one to go to. The easiest one that people go to is, well, she's a white girl. That's why people care now, because all these other girls, they're black, and it doesn't have anything to do with that.
I'm with you.
Doesn't have anything to do with that.
Now, people are going to say, well, there's two white dudes talking about that, and that's a fair comeback. But at the end of the day, there's just something different.
It's what she's doing.
Yes.
Tiger Woods did not draw the eyeballs because he was a black guy. Tiger Woods drew the eyeballs because he was different.
He had the
it factor. Better. Yeah. He was better. He was out there pumping his fist when everybody was doing the golf clap. He's out there going, kicking your ass. And we all went, yeah. But that was probably just because he was a black guy and we were all racist for him. And now we're all racist for Caitlin Clark. I'm confused by it, because what I think it is we love seeing human beings do special shit. We love it when a human being is able to do something. We go, whoa, did you see her shoot from the logo?
Superhuman.
Did you see her go 6 of 9 from 38 feet? Like, she's insane. And then watch her next week, because she's going to do it again. And that's the other thing we've talked about. The pressure builds and she delivers. The expectations go up. She exceeds them. Tiger Woods did the same thing.
Michael Jordan did the same thing.
I'm also glad we don't have, because, dude, if she looked like, oh man, where was I this weekend? I saw your girl, Livy Dunn.
Yes.
Is that her name?
Yes. She's not my girl, but she's.
Yeah, I think
Paul
of her as
Skeen's
your girl.
That's fine.
Yeah. You and Paul Skeens. Tomato.
Yeah.
Man, where was I? She's got like some. Was that like I can't remember. I want to say I was at Raising Cane's, but they have Flava Flav as their endorsement right now. I don't remember where I was. I was at some fast food place, and I saw your girl, Livy Dunn. Okay.
So she was like a spokesperson for it?
They had like a cardboard cutout over there, and it was like, get the Livy Dunn special or whatever it was. We don't have that to fall. It's not like everybody looks at Caitlin and goes, oh, it's sex appeal. That's why you perverts are all watching the WNBA, because you like watching her run up and down the court. She's cute. It's not that. Nobody's ever said it's the sex appeal. There's something. What's the something? She's really good at this thing.
But it's also the way she carries herself professionally. It's the way she answers things. And it's I would say, for the most part, it's that competitive spirit, yet humility. She's a competitor, but we like to watch people do superhuman things.
Yeah.
And when you combine everything together, and it was probably really how she handled the Angel Reese NCAA conference. Angel came off as the villain, which is good, and it's good for the WNBA. As much as we get sick of the Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark drama, it's good for the league, just because it garners that interest. But you have, and I've used the analogy before, it's simple story writing. You have a protagonist, you have an antagonist, and that's what makes competition great.
Yeah. And by the way, this injury is part of the journey.
Yes. Yes. Now, don't kid yourself. The WNBA would love nothing more than to see the Indiana Fever in the WNBA final.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Ooh. Asterisk. With Caitlin Clark.
Yes.
They've definitely, again, without Caitlin Clark on a roster, it doesn't matter. It's all white noise. I cannot tell you. Angel Reese is on the Chicago team. I only know that because that rivalry's beat down my throat. Kate Martin's still on the Las Vegas team?
No, she's at Golden State.
Okay.
Kelsey Plum's in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I knew that one.
Asia Wilson is with Las Vegas.
Okay. Aaliyah Boston plays for. Again, I don't even want to do this because it just shows how ignorant I am about all of it. Love Caitlin. I think it's fantastic to watch her. It with the Tiger reference is the best one.
But the ticket prices are proof that if you want to know who the most marketable player in the league is, that's not happening for any other player in the WNBA.
I can tell you the names Ernie Els and Davis Love III. I never went out of my way on Sunday to watch them. I never went to the store and saw an outfit. Like, oh, I'm going to wear red.
Speaking of the WNBA, speaking of the Indiana Fever, speaking of Caitlin Clark, and speaking of Angel Reese, you remember after they played in the season opener, the accusations of racism happened and racist comments. So the WNBA decided we're going to fully investigate this. Now, keep in mind that not one player on the Chicago Sky or the Indiana Fever reported hearing anything of a racist comment towards Angel Reese. In fact, Angel Reese called it a basketball play afterwards, said move on. Caitlin Clark explained, hey, listen, it was a basketball play. Wasn't going to let her score. Dave Portnoy from Barstool went on there because he was at the game, said this did not happen. I was there. But the WNBA responded, Ross, to social media posts that said this happened. And then it becomes a firestorm where they're like, we're going to investigate.
Do an investigation.
We're going to do an investigation. Now, I'll credit the WNBA for coming back, but can you believe this? They can't verify hateful fan comments towards Angel Reese. They conducted interviews with fans of substance, meaning probably high
fans of substance.
Yeah. So they interviewed players, they interviewed fans, they went through the video and audio of around the game because there's microphones and cameras all over the place. Couldn't find a thing, so they couldn't verify it. Big shocker. This is no different. You remember a couple years ago when Duke played BYU in volleyball, and the Duke player said, I was called a name. And then
I don't remember this.
So this happened, I think, in 2022 or 2023. Duke was playing at BYU, and one of the Duke players said she was called a name. Duke actually took a fan, banned them from attending games, and then came back a couple weeks later after they did an investigation, apologized to the fan, and said, no, you can come back, and said this did not happen. But in the meantime, you had Don Staley from South Carolina who said, South Carolina is never going to go play a game at BYU. We're just not going to do this. We're not going to tolerate this, because they believed what was said, right? It was like, well, because you said it, it happened. And that's just not the case. And this is another example of, yeah, you threw it out there on social media. And remember, this wasn't Angel Reese. I think a lot of people thought it was Angel Reese who said this. She never once said she was called a name. It was somebody who put a post on social media who said, oh. And I'm kind of with you. In today's day and age, if you said something that was really bad, I want to believe in my heart of hearts that somebody would go, you didn't just say that.
Absolutely. Somebody in a crowd like that, somebody's going to react. First of all, a black person in the crowd's going to hear it. They're going to be like, what the? Somebody that's with them, somebody that's around them, anybody that hears it that has morals should go, whoa, no. I mean, I've been the idiot in a crowd who yells the F word, right?
Hell, I say it daily. Just
yeah, but I mean, like in a crowd, you're at a Hawkeye game, throw the fucking ball, and you look down, and there's some 8-year-old turning around looking at you, and you're like,
do you think
something like this? That's why the day this came out, I'm like, nope, didn't happen. And then the WNBA has to do an investigation, and then we can't prove that it didn't happen, but we also can't prove it did. So,
do you think like leagues like the WNBA, the NFL, the NBA, when stuff like this happens, to acknowledge it publicly, or should they do this behind the scenes so you don't look? Because I think the WNBA was posturing here, like
100%.
Yes,
nailing it. Yeah, this is pandering and posturing.
And
We at the WNBA offices take racism very seriously. Who doesn't? The hell's that mean? We investigate all charges, even tweets. Tweets. You guys look at tweets and then investigate what people say on Twitter. Okay. Seems like a good use of resources. Rather than watching the video, watching the reaction of everybody around, realizing not the other 9 black girls on the court don't all look at once to go, what? There's an indication. Oh, something was said there. Look at people reacting. Look how everybody's heads are turning this direction. So it came from here. Instead, we got to go and, unfortunately, we were unable to confirm nor deny.
Verify. We're going to use fancy words like verify. We were unable to substantiate the verification of racist comments.
You can't prove something didn't happen
when it most likely didn't. And that's why I'm like, instead of posturing and saying, well, we're going to do this full-fledged investigation only to come back, it's almost like they wanted, this sounds really bad. It's almost like they wanted it to be true so they could say, see what we did here. We're rooting out hate.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that, Travis. Like, oh man, if we could find this, we're gonna be heroes. Kick some racist out. Oh,
how'd you like to be the investigator? Go back to the office and go, hey, here's our final report. We didn't find anything. We conducted several interviews. We listened to the video. We listened to the audio. There isn't anything. And it was probably like, damn.
Did you see the Brittney Griner thing? I see dude from Iowa has commented on that. Did you see the Brittney Griner video of her? So she's called for the foul on Caitlin. Caitlin's trying to come across the screen, and Brittney Griner kind of gives her the elbow shudder. She's called for the foul. Goes to the bench, and the camera is zoomed in on Brittney Griner as she sits down, and she looks to mouth, like, the people that do the lip reading, and it does look like she says blank and white girl. And then after the game, she was being interviewed. She's doing a post-game interview, and she literally stops the post-game interview to kind of give the business to the official who was walking off the thing. Yeah, I don't know if you'd seen that or not. Or
I've seen.
I think that she's denied saying. I don't know. I haven't really followed it again, but
she actually said what she said, and reading the lips, it probably matched what she said more than what everybody. Because it's like you can try to read lips. I think it was something about a call. And I'd have to go back. I actually believe Brittney Griner here. I do. We got to stop watching just to see what. Try to interpret unless you flat out hear it
and assuming the motives.
And you have to stop assuming motive.
Worst motives.
Because we're assuming the worst at, you have a group of people that are assuming the worst out of Caitlin Clark. You're having a group of people that are assuming the worst out of everybody else who's competing against her.
Angel Reese.
Yes. Brittney Griner.
Travis,
stop assuming the worst.
A big part of our audience still thought that Brittney Griner was the one who had said, oh, they said racist things to me, because that did get reported. And then it fits the narrative that you've built in your mind of, oh yeah, Brittney Griner, of course she thought somebody was being racist because that, I'm sorry, not Brittney Griner, Angel Reese. John Boy, the dude that does the baseball breakdowns, he was the first guy that really did the Astros, the beating of the trash can thing.
Yeah.
You know who John Boy is? He does the baseball breakdowns. That dude does read lips. So
I'm just saying, I don't assume. People are going to say, yes, you do, Travis. You assume. My wife would say, you assume the worst. I try not to, but unless I have concrete proof, I don't want to assume the worst out of everybody.
It just happens.
Sometimes it does, and maybe at that first meeting, I don't assume the worst. It's probably multiple interactions when I start to assume the worst. Betty just wrote in. She says, missed the first hour. Any update on the Gillis tickets? So today is the last day, Betty, to get registered for the Shane Gillis suite tickets on Saturday night. So you have to go to therushradio.com. A lot of you have done it already, but if you haven't done it already, go to the promotions tab at therushradio.com and fill out that little form. We're asking for your name, your telephone number, and I believe your email address. And that's going to put you in kind of a system to win those tickets. You're going to sit with Ross Peterson. You're going to sit with me and our guests. Are you bringing Courtney or are you bringing Ian?
Yeah, Courtney's coming with me.
I don't know who's going with me yet. Somebody's going to go with me. I just don't know who that is yet.
You know, I decided, even though Eli, I decided it was probably, he's 15 now. I got to start saying that. I don't know. Still seemed like it was probably an adult show.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, it's not Andrew Dice Clay by any means, but it's still.
Oh my God, dude. I have so much trouble, Travis, with the dad thing. We grew up in a tough era to try to be tough dads. Here's what I mean. How, you just pointed out one of those things. How do I say to my son, hey, I don't like the music you listen to. The music you listen to is profane. It's got a lot of N-words in it. It's got a lot of violence. And then my son turns around and goes, didn't you listen to Tupac? Oh, yeah. Yeah. But your words, some of the words are mumbly. I can't understand some of the words of these rap songs these days. Huh. Dad, didn't you listen to Old Dirty Bastard, Shimmy, Shimmy, Yaw, Shimmy, Yam, Shimmy, Yay? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did. And there's a part of me that realized it's been like this forever.
Yeah, we grew up at a time when Tipper Gore was trying to get parental advisories on CDs.
I was going. You mentioned Andrew Dice Clay, and I also think of Two Live Crew. Two Live Crew had an entire album. You couldn't listen to 9 seconds of it on the radio. And so it's hard as a parent to be like, listen, I think this is setting a bad example. Good, Dad. You have the Me So Horny CD in your car still?
Yeah, and I might turn it up when you're not in the car.
But listen, that's different. That's nostalgic.
My anaconda don't want none.
Right. And that was on the radio.
Yes.
Right.
Hell, I think they play it in arenas now, don't they?
Oh, yeah. That's a common one. That's Baby Got Back. They play that at bar mitzvahs, dude.
Welcome to Emmanuel's Bar Mitzvah. We're opening up today with Baby Got Back.
How dare I just be like, I'm not sure my 15-year-old son, who's been exposed to the internet for 10 years, I'm not sure he's ready for Shane Gillis. When I was 10 years old, I was listening to Andrew Dice Clay and Adam Sandler doing things with shampoo bottles.
How do we take this? I guess are we that's not it. This is the one. It's from Ross. I listen to this show daily, but I wouldn't let my kids listen daily. Right. Why not? Okay. It's not a kid show. We've never been a kid show. If kids listen,
that's why I look over my shoulder a lot. Is Rodrigo? Okay, good. She can't hear. All right, let's do this.
So I've got to block it out of my mind that I know that my 29-year-old daughter in Mississippi listens every day. Every day. I block that out of my mind because
when you think about it, you're going to change the content.
Yeah, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to change the content. Just saying.
Austin, I needed Austin's comment here. This is right. Austin, thank you. Kids are supposed to want to rebel. Dads are supposed to be a little hypocritical. That's the job. Austin, thanks, man. I needed that.
I mean, there was a time Owen would sit downstairs and watch South Park at 8, 9.
He knew all of them.
He knew every single episode. In fact, a scene would come up and we'd talk about it and Owen would go, oh, that's season 7, episode 22, about the 4-minute mark. I'm like, dude. In South Park then, and I still think South Park still pushes the boundaries, but early South Park, oh buddy.
Golden age.
That was the golden age. 515-517-2303. That's the number to call. If you want to email us, you can do that. Travis at therushradio.com or Ross at therushradio.com. We'll take a break, come back, and take you through the last half hour of the show on the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
I'm loving these wooden nickels, Brian.
Yeah, I suppose everyone is catching on.
Just spend $20 to get a wooden nickel.
It's 25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings on your next purchase.
Some of these are worth $5. That could be huge.
I know, right? That's why you have to spend $20.
It's 25.
Collect 10. It's like money back to you.
Spend 20, you get another wooden nickel.
It's 25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings. It's huge.
Central City Liquors, home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the wooden nickel program.
It's huge.
Hi, my name's Jerry Rodriguez. I'm a Lexus technician, and I've been with Willis about 28 years. My favorite part about working at Willis has to be my coworkers, teammates, a lot of like-minded folks with the same goals in mind, and that's taking care of the customer. We have the fishing. I enjoy fishing. We have a lot of good fishing here in the Des Moines area with various lakes.
Missing a quality home-cooked meal? You know, the kind Mom used to make? Lucky for you, we found her recipe book. Welcome to the High Life. Welcome to the champagne of bars.
Looking for the perfect golf escape? Experience links-style golf right here in Ames at Coldwater Golf Links. With rolling fairways, large greens, and unique routing, it's golf the way it's meant to be played. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, you'll love our course's welcoming atmosphere and friendly staff. Grab your clubs, book a tee time, and make every round unforgettable. Coldwater Golf Links, where great golf leads to great memories. Visit coldwatergolf.com to book your round today.
Spring is here. It's pothole season. Potholes can wreak havoc on your suspension and alignment. If you come into Willis Chevrolet during the month of May and mention this video, we'll check your alignment for free and give you $30 off if you need one. Give us a call or schedule online today at willischevy.com.
Back to the Rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. Rosh, yesterday we talked about Greg Sankey and the SEC, and he doesn't need to be lectured about what's best for college football. And his thoughts on the college football playoff and how the Big Ten and the SEC are really politicking for, you know, those automatic bids to the college football playoff when it comes to that 2026 renewal. A lot of things have been floated out by the SEC in the Big Ten, the 4 guaranteed spots. I think Sankey was a little surprised yesterday at his meetings in Destin, Florida with SEC, because the coaches in the SEC are pushing back. The coaches seem to be in favor of that 5+11 model, which means the 5 highest ranked conference champions get automatic bids, and then you have 11 at-large bids. And the coaches might be onto something here. And let me tell you why. Do you know what the SEC would have had last year if you had the 5+11 model? In a 16-team playoff?
I haven't looked back on it. What would it have been?
6 teams in the college football playoff. 6 teams would have been representing the SEC in the college football playoff. And the coaches are saying, we want a model that guarantees us the chance to get the most amount of teams in. And if you look at, say, your conference champion is going to get in, but if the SEC is going to be as strong and maintain that competitiveness, they could get, in some years, 6 teams, maybe some years 7 or 8 teams into the college football playoff. That's scary to think about when you start thinking about money.
I mean, Travis, this is the writing on the wall. This is what they're shooting for.
And think about Brett Yormark and Phillips from the ACC. They want the 5-11 model. Be careful what you ask for. You just might get it. You just might get it.
Travis, I don't know what. Dude, this is just getting. All right, let's talk about the Sankey part of this first, okay? Because we talked about this a little bit yesterday. He holds all the cards, it seems like. It's a hostage negotiation. It's not a negotiation. It's not a, hey, Greg, we think that this is best. Oh, okay, I like those ideas from that, and we'll take some of those. How about you give on this? That's not what's happening. There's no back and forth. And he's being very obvious about that. Like, oh, that's cute that you guys have opinions about what's best for you. That's cute because we're going to do what's best for us.
But when your own internal coaches have sway over ADs, they do. And let's not forget who Greg Sankey answers to. He does answer to people, and that would be the presidents and chancellors. And if you have presidents and chancellors going, hey, my coaches and ADs are saying this, we appreciate the power that you yield, but they make a much more compelling argument than you are here.
Do they? Do they?
I look at college baseball right now, and it's not apples to apples. I understand that. There are, 13 SEC teams in the college baseball tournament right now, and they are hosting, 6 or 8 of the regionals. You could easily have an all-SEC College World Series coming up in 2 weeks. And so they're going, hey, look at that model. If you go to that 5-11 model, we could get a lot more teams in than 4. Good.
So I think you're right. I guess. So let's seeing it from Greg Sankey's point of view, that's an easy one. You're the power player. Seeing it from Brett Yormark's position, like you say, hey, be careful what you're asking for here. What do you ask for that is I don't even know. This is why I say it's hostage negotiation. I don't even know what Brett Yormark can say that the SEC is going to go, oh, okay, yeah, now we see your point of view, and now we'd like to welcome you into the fold here. It's all this perpetual slide to all the power. And Travis, even when you lay this out, like, who was it that we were asking the other day? Was it Pollard or was it Kyle Peterson about, play out the chess match for us here? Eventually, it's the Big Ten versus the SEC. Then what? Which one of those guys was it that said Big Ten wins?
That was me. I said that. I said the Big Ten wins.
That was you. Man, I don't see how. I don't see how this isn't the SEC eventually just coming along and going, all right, Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan, Oregon, guys, you want to play or not? Part of the you want to be in the clique or not? You want the rubber ducky?
If you would have gone the 5-11 model last year, I'm just going through. So forgive me for counting on the air, but let's start with the Big Ten. This would have been, and let me go to the final rankings right before the playoffs were announced. Oregon, Penn State, Ohio State, Indiana would have made the college football playoff. So that's what, 4?
4. You said Oregon, Penn State, Ohio State, Indiana.
Yeah. So 4 would have been in from the Big Ten. From the SEC, Georgia, Texas, Tennessee, Alabama, Ole Miss, and South Carolina would have been in the college football playoff. That's 6. From the Big 12, if you went the 5-11 model, you would have had, because Arizona State won the championship, right? So you would have had Arizona State, which wasn't even in. I'm trying to look. Oh, Arizona State was 12, and Iowa State Iowa State wouldn't have got in. So they would have been, Arizona State would have been the only one. Then the other ones would have been Boise State and SMU and Miami and Clemson. That's the way it would have in that 5-11 model.
Travis, again, when you say be careful what you ask for,
I like this model though.
I do too. If you are, I want you to put yourself in Brett Yormark's position here. You're the commissioner of the ACC. You're the commissioner of the Big 12. What do you say? What do you ask for? What do you? Because you got it. You're doing press conferences. People are calling you every day saying, "Hey, I want your opinion on this." You're going to be making statements. What's your statement? When you're on with the Rush and you're Jamie Pollard and some guy says, "How do you fix this?" What do you say? What's fair for your universities? Because like when you say, I kind of want to go back to that thing you said about how Sankey, these commissioners report to the athletic directors. No.
They report to the chancellors.
Yes, that's what you said. That's exactly what you said. Because I thought you were going to say athletic directors, and then you did say, because that's true. And what and who has the most compelling argument when it's in that president's office? Who has the most leverage? Is it the football coach? Or is it the conference commissioner that's coming in with the television contract in hand? It's the conference commissioner in the president's office. In the president's office, the coach is an employee of that CEO. The commissioner that's coming in is a contractor. That's a guy with the money. He's making things easier for you. This guy's an employee. He siphons off the other end. He's on this side of the ledger. Those two animals get treated differently in that farm. And I think that the winner in that conversation is the guy that comes in with the contract.
But let me play devil's advocate to that. Right now, the conference TV contracts are set up completely differently. And it's not like, so the college football playoff would be, hey, this is how we're going to distribute money.
Yeah.
So you're also looking at, okay, well, we could get 6 teams in because we think the SEC is going to be that much more. Or do you go with the guaranteed 4? And because even with that, the financial gap will continue to expand.
Yeah.
And it's still going to be hard for the Big 12 and the ACC to even catch up. We're talking about compound interest here. When you double up every single year, I think is one of those realizations that we've seen set in out of Ames. Is like, man, that the $20 million a year that we're being left behind, that sucks. The $100 million that we're left behind every 5 years, that's insurmountable. And then who knows what happens with the next round? Yeah. So again, they want to have this decided by December 1st. And Sankey thinks that's a long, that's too early. I'm like, no, it's not. You've got to get this stuff. It's not that hard. And I know it's hard to get everybody to come on the same page, but hard work needs to get done.
But Travis, again, it goes back to the conversation about whose best interests. Everybody's looking out for their own best interests, obviously. And then the greed and the power and that. So like the Big 12 guys are right to stand up and go, hey man, what's best for college football? what's best for college football is what is a flourishing 150 different teams. And the SEC looks around and goes, no, what's best for college football? Us. Is if we consolidate this thing, and because everybody really cares about Alabama.
Yeah, it is. It's not what's best for college football. It's what's best for your league and your member institutions.
And don't get mistaken, your Mark's doing the same with the Big 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, what's best for college football might be in what Jamie Pollard said, is that you've just got to come together and everybody's got to act as one entity.
Yeah.
And because that is true equal distribution of money.
And Jamie's also right. It's too late to be able to do that now. The only way to make that happen, to go forward, is to go backwards. Go back 30 years and recreate it.
And nobody's going to do that.
You can't do that.
Nobody's going to do that. Hey, I know you're a baseball aficionado. Did you see this record set by the Rockies?
Oh, what happened now? I did not see this.
So the Rockies lost to the Cubs yesterday, 4-3 in 10 or 11 innings. Cubs now with a 3-game lead in the National League Central. That means with the Cubs win last night, the Rockies lost the series. The Rockies have lost 21 straight series dating back to last season. The longest stretch in Major League Baseball history of losing a series. We're not talking about games here. We're talking about series, 3- and 4-game series. 21 straight series losses for the Rockies, who are still stuck on 9 wins. The big question is, do they get to 10 wins before June? $21?
That's insane.
Last time they won a series was September of 2024 against, I believe, the Diamondbacks. September of last year is the last time they won a series. They took 2 of 3 from the Diamondbacks. We thought the White Sox took baseball to an all-new low last year.
A year ago, we're like, this is historic.
The Rockies said, hold my beer. Just hold my beer. We are going to go into a
futility like you've never seen before.
Yes. So they play the Cubs again today, and then you know how they end the month? At the Mets.
where they will sweep, because that's baseball.
Believe it or not, the Rockies won a game last week. They beat the Yankees. And the Yankees have won 7 in a row. 4 in a row. The Yankees have won 8 of their last 10. They've grown their lead to 7 games in the East, but the Rockies actually beat the Yankees last week. Didn't win the series, but they beat the Yankees. I remember seeing them like, the Rockies beat the Yankees? How did that just happen? Because it can happen. It's bad baseball.
So I saw a couple of sports book stories that I thought were kind of fascinating. And one of them was about the Rockies. How the books can't fade them enough. They were having a hard time last year with the White Sox. Like, they couldn't get the odds heavy enough to get people not to bet against them. And this is becoming even worse for the Rockies this year. I mean, it's, the numbers are staggering, and how much you have to put on the Rockies to lose in order to even get, $100 win. Bet $2,100, something like that. It's crazy because they can't fade them enough. They're on pace right now. Did you have this in your?
I know is I don't know what they're already 25 games back in the division. 25 games back in the division. They have 9 wins.
It's not June. They're 20.
If you're a fan, how do you even what do you entice people to go to Coors Field for? Right? I mean, how do you entice people to go, come out and watch us? Do you start turning it into a minor league atmosphere to you're like, hey,
yeah, it's about the hot dog races and the stick around for the fireworks. And I get at this point, Travis, that's what you're trying, I guess, right?
I mean, it's almost like, hey, free baseball for the rest of the season.
There's been times I thought teams would be smart to do that. We're going to do $1 hot dog. We're free admission and $1 hot dog.
Freebie Friday, right?
That would be one. That'd be a fun Chris Connolly conversation of like, how do you get creative? Or maybe having Sam Burnaby on again. All right, so here we go, Trav. I found some of this. During the 2024 season, the White Sox lost a modern record of 121 games, a masterpiece of baseball schadenfreude. I'm reading from an ESPN article here. Yet just one season later, another franchise is giving the White Sox a run for their money. Through 50 games, the Rockies are 8-42. That's a 160 winning percentage. That puts them on pace to win 26 games, losing an astonishing 136, breaking last year's record by 15 games. That's what they're on pace to do right now.
So they were, 8-42 then? They're 9-46 now. Damn.
Yeah, this article is from May 23rd. Thank you. The other article that I found that was sports book related here. Okay. This one came out of Pennsylvania. A group of guys. So remember the Rockies story about the lawsuit that I told you, where the dude was suing the Rockies for getting hit by a foul ball? Do you remember me telling you this story? Guy was in a suite in 2023, got hit by a foul ball, is suing the Rockies for not having a safe environment. But part of the lawsuit is the team was so bad and boring that I couldn't pay attention to the game. Like that's fantastic. So this is these 5 guys are suing DraftKings. 5 Pennsylvania men are trying to launch a class action lawsuit against DraftKings, which they say used predatory tactics and deceptive marketing to fuel their gambling addictions. Federal lawsuit claims that instead of trying to help people in the throes of compulsive gambling, DraftKings targets and exploits those individuals. The company also extends promotional deals that offer, quote, no sweat bets or deposit matches while hiding convoluted conditions in the fine print, according to the lawsuit. 5 dudes are suing DraftKings.
You may not like the marketing tactics, but you'd be surprised how these same tactics are used on different products, services, addictions all the time, right? I mean, hell, I showed you that the AI girlfriend.
Yeah.
That's pretty, I mean, you're making a promise there that you're going to get satisfaction in what you want until reality becomes this isn't real. You a Sean Kemp fan? When
I love where this is going. I have no idea. Sure. I love Sean Kemp stories.
Has pleaded guilty to second-degree assault because of a parking lot shooting at a mall. So he had some personal property stolen, and his phone was one of them. So he tracked his phone to a mall up by Seattle, and that's where he confronted the people. Shots were fired. Nobody was hurt. But he says they fired at him first. He fired back. Those 2 dudes are still in jail on unrelated charges. He was originally charged with first-degree assault, firearm stuff, and then they added some more stuff like a drive-by shooting type thing. And then he reached a deal for second-degree assault to where he'll be sentenced in August, and most likely he's going to do some jail time. The state prosecutor recommended 9 months. And Kemp's defense lawyer says, hey, this makes everybody happy. Sean Kemp owned up to what he did. The state kind of recognized the self-defense aspect of it, but he's going to do some jail time. And then he'll have like a year of state supervision to make sure that he stays in line. As mad as you are if somebody took your stuff, That, to me, that's not self-defense. Well, when you're getting fired on, you are. But when you chase somebody down, you're going after the. That's when you call the cops. Say, "Hey, I'm tracking my phone.
Yeah.
Here's where it is. Can you handle this?"
I would have thought that's the way. Yes, exactly right. With the gun in tow.
Yes, you take a gun. You're looking for a fight at that point. You're almost hoping for a shootout.
There's a lot going through my head. Can you imagine? I mean, you steal a phone, low life behavior. And then at some point in time, you're like, at some point in time, obviously you see Sean Kemp. Now, maybe you don't know it's Sean Kemp, but Sean Kemp's a big dude.
Big dude. He was a player.
Big man. Big man chase me. Big bear. Big bear chase me. That would be a moment of like, did we steal Sean Kemp's phone?
Throw it out. Just throw it out the window. We don't want it. He'll track it and find it in the ditch.
And then I'm with you. To track it down with gun in tow of like, all right, once I find these dudes, I'm getting my phone back. You had bad intentions.
Exactly. Even though he says he was fired at first, and then there's self-defense, you lost the self-defense claim when you picked up the gun, went in the car, and went looking for somebody.
He's an interesting fellow, dude. Like over and over. That's an interesting fellow. He was a man-child. Holy cow. Because he came straight out of high school, right?
I believe so, or he was like... he didn't go to college, I don't believe. If it was like a community college.
JT Nutt has a good line here. Wouldn't the 87 baby mamas in the contacts be a giveaway?
Might be.
I either stole Sean Kemp's phone or Anthony Cromartie.
You log in the phone, you go to the
Elon
bank
Musk.
account, you're like, look at these child support payments. Oh my God, how did this? We robbed the wrong guy. There's no money left. All right, everybody. Don't forget, last day to register for Shane Gillis tickets. Go to therushradio.com, fill out the form, and you might be going to Shane Gillis on Saturday night, sitting with Ross and myself in the Choice Creative Suite. We'd love to hang out with you, drink a beer with you, and I'm going to drink a vodka soda, but you know what I'm talking about. We're going to be back tomorrow. Kirk Triplett, he's going to be golfing on the at the Principal Charity Classic. He's going to join us at 7 o'clock tomorrow. It is the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
Hi everyone and welcome to May. It's finally starting to feel like spring. I'm John Lanera, sales manager here at Willis Lexus, and this month we've got some great specials. We have interest rates as low as 3.79 on select models, and if you prefer to lease, we have $1,000 of lease cash on RX, $2,000 on ES and ES Hybrid, and $2,500 on NX Gas. And don't forget, this month we've got the Principal Charity Classic coming on, so expect to see you guys out there. I invite you to stop out and take a look, or visit us online at willislexus.com.
I'm loving these wooden nickels, Brian.
Yeah, I suppose everyone is catching on.
Just spend $20 to get a wooden nickel.
It's 25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings on your next purchase.
Some of these are worth $5. That could be huge.
I know, right? That's why you have to spend $20.
It's 25.
Collect 10. It's like money back to you.
Spend 20, you get another wooden nickel.
It's 25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings. It's huge.
Central City Liquor is home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the wooden nickel program.
It's huge.
With over 260 beers on tap, El Bait Shop isn't just another craft beer bar. It's the best. Beer lovers know. El Bait Shop, 200 Southwest 2nd, Des Moines.
There's a new spin on casual dining near Drake University. Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers. Craveable faves, flatbreads, delicious burgers, frozen cocktails, and a crazy cool vibe. Get to Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers today.
Are you thinking about buying a home this year? Start by getting pre-approved with Gary Presnall at Northwest Bank in Des Moines to see how much you can qualify for and what loan programs meet your needs. Gary can get you pre-approved in 30 minutes or less with a pre-approval letter to you. Gary offers first-time homebuyers programs, VA loans along with FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Summer's on its way, and that means road trips, travel, and summer activities. Come in now and get your maintenance done, like air conditioning, alignment, and fluid services, to make sure your Volvo is ready for everything the summer can throw at it. That way you can just sit back and enjoy the season. Schedule service online at willisvolvocars.com or give us a call today.
Bread is made from scratch, freshly baked with locally sourced ingredients and love. At Big Sky Bakery, we take great pride in our delicious products. We know you'll enjoy them almost as much as we enjoy baking them. Find us at the downtown Des Moines Farmers Market every Saturday.
Back to the Rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.